Now, being able to leave your home and get back safely in the evening is a blessing that a lot of people underrate. And it's in that same fashion that being able to live to see yet another episode of this show is a blessing. My name is AMENYAH, and we are here again with another episode of your favorite show, Coffee Break. Now, my guest on today's show is a lady who has done extremely well across the length and breadth of this globe. She's been on international platforms, international stages. She's been on the billboards, and you definitely know her. When we return from this break, we meet our guest. Stay tuned.
It's Coffee Break with Harold.
Our guest on Coffee Break this week is supermodel, entrepreneur, and humanitarian. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by the one and only Victoria Michaels. Victoria,
there was a runway.
I know, right? That's where you just start doing your thing. But it's good to see you.
It's good to see
you. How
you.
How are you doing?
Well. I'm good. I love your outfit.
You do, eh?
Yes.
Thank you. This is from Setters Fashion.
It looks good.
The young guys are doing killer jobs these days, man.
We have talent here. We just need to, support them. Give them the necessary tools that they need, and they'll bloom.
We really do. And every time I get the opportunity to have a chat with an entertainer, I tell them that, listen, we really do have the talents.
No, we do. We have many of them.
Do you think you've been supported enough in your career as a model?
Supported by who?
Everyone in general, by the fans, or the public, the country as a whole.
Well, I would say yes. I would say yes to an extent. I mean, support is, relative. Is it support, directly, or indirectly? Because the modeling craft is tricky, okay? It's actually begins with the individual knowing exactly, what they want and going for it. Okay, you shouldn't actually sit for people to tell you to better your work or your expressions, your poses and all of that. This is something you should know and do. So if you just sit back and wait for that support of people saying you must do this, you must do that, sometimes it doesn't come, because it is the basics that you should know as a model. But then the kind of support I've received would be from brands that I've worked with. I've worked with both local, international, and multinational, multilateral brands. And this is because some of them look beyond, the physical appearance. They saw something else.
Like what?
Well, I would say the brains. Not to blow my own horns, but I'm pretty intelligent. The brands that I've worked with can attest to this fact. Because it doesn't just stop at, okay, we're putting your face on the billboard or in print, magazines, bus shelters and whatnot. But it also comes with an added value, okay, where a client could say, okay, we have this outing, we're launching a product and we want you to speak to it. We want you to convince people that this is, a product to go for right now. So when that happens, you just have to, put on your thinking cap and bring your A game on and convince whoever needs to get that product to get it. So it's just about adding value, not necessarily, looking pretty and, nothing else to bring to the table.
Right.
Yeah, so I've had support in that regard.
I ask this question because, many have feared. There are a lot of, our parents, many old folks or people in the non-entertainment sector, okay? So any other sector other than entertainment, they don't regard the entertainment or people in the entertainment industry as serious individuals.
Yes.
And modeling for one, is really down the ladders, down the rank.
Of course.
So how have you been able to build a living out of modeling? Because you have done it quite distinctively.
Okay. So I'll take you back to many years ago. When it all started, at home, it was, at the time I didn't know it was modeling. So I would just love to display a collection of Christmas clothes. As kids, when parents buy us, those lovely dresses, we just love to.
Especially on Christmas
Day. So for me, I had a collection, so anytime my aunts and, cousins were around, I would go bring them out I wear one, take it off, but I didn't know it was modeling, okay? And they were quite supportive of, you know, of whatever it was. They cheered me on until, you know, I was matured enough to know that I was interested or passionate about modeling. Okay, so that support came in two folds. One was, okay, we love the idea that you want to pursue this as a career, but there's a condition, okay? The condition was that I had to get it right, you know, academically. They wanted me to be educated, you know, so my parents ensured that, you know, that I went to school, got my degree and all of that. I mean, they made sure that I was grounded, basically. You know, they didn't want anything to distract me. So that's how come today I'm able to, you know, juggle a lot of things, because if you're ignorant, trust me, there are things you cannot do.
Have you made a living out of modeling per se? Because I know you're an entrepreneur as well.
Yes.
And that is pretty much a part that takes a lot of your time.
Yes.
Would you say you being able to live a comfortable life has depended on your entrepreneurial side rather than your modeling side?
Well, it's both. It's both. It's just, you know, the two angles. Modeling has paid quite some bills. You know, I've been on platforms, you know, that have paid me quite some good money.
Like how much? For instance, so if you work
we're talking thousands of dollars.
Okay.
I mean, especially when I worked abroad.
What is the highest fee you have ever taken from a modeling gig?
The highest fee. Oh my, Harold, I don't want to say that here.
No, I mean a range. It could be a range. It might not be the exact figure.
Well,
because I'm asking this just for people out there who think that we're joking.
Yes.
To know that we really are not, or well, some of us are not.
Okay, so wow.
The highest in a range.
Okay, well, let's say 50,000. 50,000.
Yeah. Okay.
$50,000.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's not bad. Five figures. That's not bad.
$50,000.
That's not bad. And not in Ghana, I guess.
Not in Ghana. And sometimes that plus other, you know, other incentives that come with it. That comes with it.
With it.
Yeah.
So why then? Why that? If you're able to rake in,
but you see, the thing is,
huge fees,
it does not come
often.
It doesn't come often. So when you realize that, you know, you are in a craft that doesn't pay you monthly, you know, or even quarterly, what then do you do? Do you sit idle and, you know, wait for opportunities that may never come? You just need to understand, you know, the field you're in and plan your life. That was what I did. You know, so I started, you know, as an entrepreneur, I started like pretty early, you know, so I once worked with defunct Intercontinental, now Access Bank. Okay. And
as a teller or?
No, as a relationship officer, a marketer.
Okay.
You know, so I used to, you know, I used to bring in clients, yes, you know, to the bank, yes, you know, so you're given targets. You meet your targets are increased and stuff. So it was pretty much a routine thing for me. And I think I wasn't cut out for it. So I quit and then, you know, started modeling actively and then also set up a business.
What first business is that?
So it's a marketing consultancy firm, VM Consult Limited. That was the first business I set up. And the good thing about it is that I could work from any part of the world. I mean, I could engage vendors to execute an event, for example. You know, so my team locally would come up with a strategy, a branding strategy, and we have people who help execute it. So I did that, you know, while I was abroad. You know, I would respond to emails, you know, speak to clients on what, you know, they needed. I didn't need to be in Ghana physically. So I was out there modeling, but I was also, you know, making money here back home. Yes. So that was the first business I set up. And in 2019, I set up another business, Fashion Connect Africa, you know, which
I know about.
You know about, yes.
How's that doing?
It's doing well. It's doing well. I mean, if you were at the event, were you at the?
I was at the maiden event.
You were at the maiden event, and it was adjudged by stakeholders, fashion enthusiasts, as one of the best, if not the best, fashion outing, they've ever seen. And the reason, we had such reviews is because I pay attention to details as a person. I learned a lot, I'm still learning. Working abroad opens your mind, and it gives you a lot of insight as to how things should be done professionally. And that was what I brought back home. And and we're going to do it again in December. So everyone should just look out for it. Yeah.
Let's backtrack a bit. You talk about growing up, how your parents insisted that you brought in good grades, even if you wanted to pursue your modeling career. What kind of home did you come from?
From a Christian home.
Okay, your parents are still together?
My dad is late, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yes, but my mom, she's in the US.
Right, but until he passed, they were together.
Yes.
And how many children? How many children
do they have? My parents.
You've lost count?
No, not that I've lost count. I have a stepmom.
Okay.
Yes. So I think.
But between your mom and your dad?
And my dad. We're four of us.
Okay. Okay. You are the.
I'm the last but.
You are the last but one.
Yes.
How many girls? How many boys?
1 boy, 3 girls.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You are the last but one.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not Dadaba.
Okay.
I'm not Dadaba. I'm not the last born. Look. For lack of a better word, I hustle decently. I love to put in work. Whilst people are sleeping, I'm up, thinking of strategies to better my business, to better my life, to better the life of other people. And for me, I think that in this generation, that is the way to go. You don't just sit down and hope that things will fall on your lap.
What do you make of the assertion that, especially in this part of the world, people they pursue modeling to cover up prostitution? Have you ever heard that?
No.
You haven't heard that?
I haven't heard that.
That people pursue modeling to cover up prostitution or escort business?
No.
You haven't heard that?
I haven't heard that.
But
I haven't heard that because I don't want to hear it. I'm doing things differently.
Because I have heard that over and over again.
Yeah.
And but you haven't heard that, and you haven't heard that anyone is actually.
I haven't heard that, but then there is a word out there that modeling is not a prestigious career, okay? But I beg to differ, because I have done it, and I think that it has added value to my life. And I've also added value to the craft. Yes. So it's how you see it. It is not it is not a means to an end. It's something that you do up to a point, and then you start doing other things that are relevant, to actually take you to where you want to be in life. I wouldn't say that I've had any regrets being a model. I've actually enjoyed it. And it's because of the foundation I have had. It's good to have the right foundation. Have the right people around you who inspire you, who say to you that, okay, if you set out to do this, do it and do it well. Okay, so I had the backing of my family. I had the support of the late Kofi Ansah, who was my, mentor. I was his house model. He guided me. He said to me, look, if you want to do this, you must do it well. And if you're also interested in, pursuing other, crafts, you need to learn them, so that when you, when at the point when you decide you're not modeling anymore, you would have other things to do, rather than which is why, Fashion Connect Africa is about to have, a one-of-a-kind models boot camp. Models need to be told the truth as it is. Okay, we want to create an enabling environment where they are told the global best practices of the craft. I see a lot of people on social media claiming to be models. They don't have the right foundation, unfortunately. So you see them they wake up every day. They put up images, different poses. There is no substance. Those images don't earn them anything, okay? So if you have the right foundation as a model, you know what to do, the steps to take, to attract a brand or brands, you know, to you to want to work with you.
I guess
you know. So I mean, that is one angle, and another angle is the fact that, Harold, you're not just like a presenter. You know, there are other things that you do, you know, for a living, and I believe that in the entertainment industry, we need to wake up to reality of, you know, of the generation we're in right now. You don't just say that I'm a musician and I'm sticking to that craft. How much does it really pay you at the end of the day or in a year? I mean, there are people, you know, the A-list artists who, I mean, are earning so much. The upcoming ones, I mean, what are you doing? What do you do to support your craft? You know, it's good to be versatile. I mean, I'm just preaching versatility. Let's be versatile. Let us have a side hustle. And this is why we having the model creative bootcamp, where we want to empower models to begin to think outside the box. What skills do you have that you can harness? Is it makeup artistry? Is it hairdressing? Is it tailoring? Is it big making? Whatever it is you can do while waiting for a modeling opportunity to come. You know, have it. If it means going back to school, get a degree. You know, I mean, have a part-time job. Just do something. You know, so that is what the bootcamp is about, and we're looking to outdoor it in October.
In October.
Yeah.
That's in connection with Fashion
Connect Africa. It's the Fashion Connect Africa
as part of the
initiative.
Yes,
event. I mean, as part of the and we're also going to have like our casting. For the fashion week.
Okay. Well, viewers, we're having a coffee break with Victoria Michaels right here. Stick and stay, we'll be back.
It's coffee break with Harold.
Welcome back. Victoria.
Yes, sir.
How are you feeling?
I feel good.
I'm feeling good. I don't see you having fun anywhere. I hardly see you at parties, social events, and stuff like that. Is it a deliberate thing?
It's not a deliberate thing. It's just the person I am.
Okay. What person are you?
I am I'm not, what's the word now? I'm not reserved, you know, but I love my space. You know, I'm an indoor person. You know, there are things that I do indoors such as, you know, keeps me going.
Is that why you're still single?
Say that again.
Is that why you're still single?
Single in what way?
Is that why you don't have a boyfriend?
Well, boyfriend, is it because you haven't seen me anywhere with anyone? Is that why you have drawn the conclusion that I do not have a boyfriend?
Because I'm thinking that if you had a boyfriend, or a serious boyfriend for that matter, you probably would show him. Okay,
well, I want to say something to that effect.
Please.
I know people who are happily, you know, engaged, happily married, who haven't flaunted their partners, and it has worked for them. And I advise people should keep it so. Because once you I have nothing against the people who flaunt their partners. Yeah. But I would say that 80% of the time, you know, they have issues. Yes, they have issues with their relationships because of the things that people try to dig out about their partners. You know, you expose your partner to, you know, I mean, a lot of eyes, people even wanting to sort of have them. You know, I've heard a lot of stories and I've seen too many things on social media, which is the reason if I actually got married today, you may never see.
So are you dating someone?
It's not something I'll discuss on national television. Yes, but I'm happy.
You're happy.
Yes.
The reason I ask that is not just because of asking sake, but you know, the career you find yourself is one that requires you to keep in shape.
Yes.
And you know, have a flat tummy,
and to not to cut you short, models travel a lot. Okay, so you're flying from one city to, you know, another, and keeping a stable relationship can be very difficult. I mean, it's a struggle in the industry, you know, which is why many models, you know, are either not married or not settled. Not because they don't want to, you know, most men want to, you know, have their partners around them, you know, or not too far from them. You understand? So it's something, but some people have found a way around it, you know, such that they still are able to sustain or maintain what they have.
And I think and that's also part of the reason why people would think that modeling people pursue modeling to cover prostitution because of also the fact that they jump from one place to the other.
And jumping from one place to the other, I have jumped to, so many, but it's work. It's work. And I've also been around, models who sometimes you're nervous. You're super nervous, and you want to smoke, you want to drink. I mean, this is what happens in the entertainment as a whole, not just modeling. Yeah. But knowing who you are, and being disciplined is all it takes.
Right.
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I mean, all those things that, keeps people like hyped up and in that super cool mood. I don't do them. And it's because I'm okay just being who I am, not being influenced by the craft I find myself in. It keeps me sane. And that is why, I'm able to associate myself with certain brands. There are brands who wouldn't associate with you, because of certain things. And there are brands who also will because of those things. So, I mean, it has its pros and cons, but I'm totally happy with the person I am.
Would you say you're a very religious person, extremely religious? Because you come across sometimes as that.
I have a relationship with God. That is the most important thing. It's not about being perceived or known as a religious person or to be overly religious. I have a relationship with God. And I would say, to a large extent, that the God factor has really helped me as an individual. It has helped, to shape who I am. It has helped me to gain some favors that I would not have had access to if I didn't have, if I didn't have God in my life. I'll quote a scripture to that effect. So the Bible said in the book of Proverbs 3:5-6 that you should trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. And I mean, this is a foundational scripture I've has right from infancy, and it has guided me, up to this moment.
If we were to experience rapture today, would you make it to heaven?
I think I would. No one is perfect, but we strive to be. This is why Jesus Christ, shed His precious blood on the cross of Calvary, to atone for our sins. So I believe that if I constantly, please Him and do things that are in line, with what the gospel says, why not? I should make it to heaven.
What's your relationship with Moesha now?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You call her?
We're in touch.
Beautiful. There's no bad blood between the two of you.
Why would there be? I was saying to her not too long ago that everything happens for a reason, okay? What happened had to happen, for some people to actually come to Christ. Mauricia giving her life to Christ has changed a lot of lives. You may not know it, but I know it for a fact that a lot of people have tried to mend their ways because of that singular act of coming out to say, guys, I think that it's about time to do things right. Forget about the old ways, give your life to Christ and let Him take over. Yeah.
Well, viewers, we're having a coffee break with Victoria Michaels right here. Stick and stay, we'll be back.
It's coffee break with Harold.
Well, viewers, we're still hanging out with Victoria Michaels, supermodel, entrepreneur, and humanitarian. Victoria, tell me, what does your bucket list look like? Bucket list.
Bucket list. It's quite a tall one, but for me, I like to take my time, and as and when the time is right, I give you the full scope. But of course, I've already told you what Fashion Connect Africa, is up to in October, and in December, we're obviously having the Fashion Connect Africa Fashion Week. Yes, so those are the ones I'm going to tell you for now. Yes.
And what do we expect the Victoria Michaels brand to be in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I just want to make a positive, or continue making positive impact and transforming lives, basically. I want people who look up to me to learn from the fact that the journey started from somewhere, you know, and it's going somewhere, and it's something they can look to better their lives. I want to be, you know, an entrepreneur that creates jobs for the youth, for the young people, because there are a lot of jobless, you know, people around. So I want to be that, which is why, you know, I set up the Fashion Connect Africa Garments Factory. And since we started, which was a year ago, we have actually engaged about 250 people in and out who have come, you know, to perform one service or the other. So I want to see entrepreneurs emerge, you know, young people, you know, start thinking outside the box. What can I do to support my craft? I mean, there are bankers who I know who are doing things on the side. They're not just like, you know, there, you know, counting money. You know, you need to save up and do other things so that when you're tired of one thing, you can just like forge ahead with the other.
Awesome.
Yes.
Victoria, well, you're a young lady who is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, and I can only, you know, continue to motivate, support from my little corner.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the best in your endeavors.
I wish you all the best as well.
Thank
Harold.
you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
Well, guys, Victoria Michaels has been my guest on today's edition of Coffee Break. Remember, the show came to you from Virtual Hub Studios right here in East Legon. My outfit is by Setes Fashion in East Legon. Well, Agbogba to be precise. Remember, same time next week, we'll be back on your screens with yet another edition. Be safe out there. My name is Harold. Thank you.